Yes, to continue, I would like to invite Mr. Sopheakdey to come to present the case number 4. Thank you. So first of all, my respect to all participants, my respect to the panel of judges, my respect and my salutation to the public. My name is Sopheakdey. I am from the trade union called CCADWU, C.CAWDU, C.CAWDU. I am very proud today to be participating in being the witness to give some information on workers' life as well as the wages in Cambodia. I am Secretary General of C.CAWDU, working in government sector. In our campaign, I would like to tell you about some facts which is related to living condition as well as the livelihood of the workers in government sectors. I would like to inform the tribunal that government and textile is an important sector that contribute to the economy of Cambodia. It contribute up to 80% of the nation export, which currently we have around 500 factories with 450,000 workers working in this sector. All workers, out of all workers, 90% of them live far away from the workplace. They cannot walk to work. They need transport. They need tuk-tuk to transport to the workplace daily, which make them spend a lot in their trip. Every day they work around 10 to 12 hours. Sometimes they work 24 hours because of the requirement of the factory. The factory forces them to work. If they do not work, they will be noted and even terminate the contract when the contract expires. In terms of food, as we know, as we can see in this slide, workers have only non-nutrition, inadequate food. They cannot secure the worker to work 12 hours or 24 hours. This condition deteriorate the health of the workers, that even the workers do not know where and when they are going to faint. Workers face fainting incident because the wage could not serve them, does not make them able to buy better food. workers dream that one day they could receive enough wages which they could afford to buy a small house near the factories, and they don't have to spend on their travels. And they dream they could have 1 or 2 children with a husband who has a decent job, but their dream results just like the wind, because they have to take loan. Yeah, they need money. They need money to support their living. Yeah, so they take loan from others. Their accommodation, I believe that everybody here, I believe we have workers in government factors. At least 50% of them are government factors. Yeah. Besides participants coming from national and international NGO organization. As we know, the living of the workers seen in the video clip, you can see they rent around 4 or 5 meters room, and they live 4 or 5 person in one single room. They cook in the room, they wash in the room, they eat in the room, sleep in there. Therefore, their living condition is in chaos. Their daily life, they suffer from diseases. If one person gets sick, the other 4 or 5 cannot get rest. Therefore, other workers would look after their colleague. And as you can see, when they work 10 to 12 hours. It can be the cause that make them faint. This is the true story we see every day. Workplace environment, the workers is not responsible anything. They do not understand about the difficulty of the workers. They only want the workers to work for them. My dear judges, workers now live in an unhealthful condition. They smell chemical substances. They can have sore throat, cough, typhoid, which we could see that they hear the noise non-stop from sewing machine, and the chemical particles from the cloth come into their mouths, their noses every day, and the company does not pay attention in giving out the mask. As everybody knows that when we have inspectors coming to conduct audit or ILO officials coming, they provide us the mask. Yeah, after 1 day or 2 days of distribution, they stop distributing the mask. Another reason is that when they quit, stop from the work, from the factory, they can only get sick. After working in the factory for 8 and 10 years, and finally they can sell their house, their cattle for the treatment. So this is the living condition of Cambodian workers. Dear judges, I am from government sector in Cambodia. I write in my palm that 100% justice here in my hand. This is justice. The justice here, we have 3. Justice with wages, justice with health care and health protection, and no any abuses in the workplace. So everybody, do you have this? Please get up. Please get up. Yes, please. allow them to get up. Now we have even foreigners, expats. So I believe here that we have people having this tattoo, and this tattoo presents fairness and justice, and I hope I can get justice or fairness from that, because I never had justice from the arbitration council, from the court. So I believe that the tribunal today would give justice to the workers. I still have strong belief in that, and I would tell my colleague, my friend, to have this belief so that we can achieve justice until the 13 or the 16. The CCADWU, we request to CRC and CNC to help us in conducting the strike, to give pressure on government and employers to consider about our minimum wage. So this is because the injustice I mentioned earlier. With that, we met with workers and we conducted the survey. And the survey here, we have around 60,000 workers support the strike. This is the truth. I would like to give this document to the panel of judges and my lawyers later. This is the survey conducted by C.CAWDU with one national institution in Cambodia. They found that the minimum wage at least 93% to 93 USD to 100 USD to support the workers. This is the reason why we conducted the strike. We conducted the strike to demand living wage and other benefits, including food, health care services, to be provided to workers. In here, we have distributed and we produce leaflets to be handed out to workers, public, national and international organization on the right to demonstrate, to strike, which the labor law and other international convention permits. When we have the right to go on strike, we never forget that we have found the right, the workers' right to demand for living wages. We focus first in the National Constitution, Article 35, 36, Labor Law, Article 15 on forced labor, Article 107 on minimum wage, decent living. The workers' right is human right. Here, when we have enough law to demand living wages, on the 19th August 2010, we submitted this notice to GMAC, which we all know that, and also copy to the Ministry of Labor. So this is the notification we developed. And on the 16th September, after 4 days strike from the 13th to the 16th, on the 16th, Ministry of Social Affairs issued a declaration to request us to return to work, and the ministry promised to put pressure on GMAC to settle, to address the workers' problem. And on the same day, 16 September, we issued a notification to disseminate to all workers. Yeah, so this is our evidence. We would suspend our strike because the ministry already agreed to address the issue. But unfortunately, first, on the day we held the strike, police, the local authority, arrested some of us, threatened, intimidated, used some gangsters to to attack our workers. So, as I am the unionist, the workers' representative, we are not happy with that. We would like to strongly condemn to this act, and we found that some companies get benefit from our workers in Cambodia. So this is only one market. We have other markets that they get benefit from us, but they never pay attention to our welfare. After the strike on the 16th, our union leaders participated in the strike, were accused by the employers to suspend our work, our job, and will submit this letter to the judges. We have around 800 unionists were accused and suspended from the work. We have 28 factories. 28 factories dismissed the union leaders. So far, the court still continue its procedures. So we try to put pressure on them. Now 11 factory accept to employ our unionists. Yes. According, we still have some activists are not able to return to work. The difficulty of the workers which worsen the condition. I think the employers are now very pleased to continue exploiting on workers. So how can we live with that? With the minimum wages? Now ASEAN region, they have 200 or 300 USD, and some ASEAN country we have thousands of USD. So we cannot live with that. So how can we live? And please consider with that. Lastly, I would like to give the brief conclusion that the current minimum wage cannot make us survive. Health issue still the problem. We have fainting cases every day. If we have more than 10 persons, we can draw the people's attention. But if we have only 2 or 3 people faint, this is normal. This is common. No any attention paid on those cases. I would like to tell that now we have at least 1 person faints in the factory, but this is not cared by others. The working condition, environment condition, like the stuck of the toilet. So who is in charge of the toilet? So they say the employers, and the employers are in Hong Kong. So how can we contact them? The third issue, exploitation in the workplace. The Chinese management curse, yeah, and even attack the workers. So finally, as a worker representative, I would like to request to the panel of the judges that first, we would like the judges to consider and decide to have a better wage from 93 USD to 120 USD. Second, please put more pressure to other stakeholders, especially buyers, to give more pressure to factories to have better working condition. Third, please stop abusing, violating the workers' right on fixed duration contract, participation into union, and the abuses in the workplace. So lastly, I would like to wish everybody, in particular the panel judges, to have good health and success in your endeavor. Thank you.
Thanks. If we have some question from the... Do you have any?
Yes, I would like you to clarify one thing on the minimum wage you requested, 93 to 120. You request what kind of request you made? Because we have a gap between 93 to 120. Thank you. Yeah, the judge. What I request here is that the minimum wage, I would like you to consider giving us at least at least 93, at least. So you may consider between 93 to 120, 120, not less than 93. So it depends on your decision. You may consider between 93 to 120. Thank you. Yes, I would like to know that how many activists left. So what is the accusation that they arrested the activists? And you mentioned that many workers have been dismissed, and on what stand, on what accusation? Because of they joined the strike, and how many left could not return to the workplace? How many exactly? Thank you.
To the same question. In your written testimony, you say that at the end you obtained, after this long fight for strike, you obtained an increase in the wages. In the agreement, apparently, that you have reached, the dismissal of trade unionists was not included? Because that's very strange, saying that you agreed on something which was obtained through strikes, but then the government apparently maintained the dismissal of trade unionists who were the leaders of the strikes. Is that correct?
Yes, I would like to answer to the question asked to me. Our union leaders, the first question I would like to answer. So far, we have 101 persons in 11 factories who could not return to work. The court accuses them according to the company request, that those activists have held illegal strikes. And as a unionist, I would like to tell her that we have the document, we have the evidence, we just follow the legal procedure, but the court decides in favor of the company. We do not know why. So I would like to tell the judges that this is the difficulty which make workers do not dare to use their right, to exercise the right, because of the pressure of the court. This is why I wrote in my hand, in my arm, that I hope I receive justice, because many courts do not give us the justice. This is our request. We need them to go back to work. I would like to tell that we have demanded, well, we have not included in here, because we only tell them that when we hold strike, we have been dismissed. What law can help us? What can we do to help them? Our ability, we cannot do anything aside from holding strikes. So when our workers have been dismissed, so when we complain to the court, the company complain back to us, so accuse us back. So I hope that the judge would have a justice decision. So whether we hold the strike, so actually we held the strike legally. So those who are in prison, what accusation they receive? The accusation actually they say that we excited the workers to join the strike. Incited. How many left in the jail? I would like to tell that after we campaign, we talk and we discuss with the ministry. So now all have been released. But what we one is that the company do not accept those workers to work.
You've covered a lot of issues, and it's been most informative. I have a number of documents here that I have been gathering, which touch on most of the issues that you have covered. Obviously, you don't have time to deal with all these matters, but I was wondering if you would be willing to submit these to us formally so that we could now consider these. I'll let you have a look at them. Can someone get these? These are official reports, international agencies. Because I guess technically we need someone to submit them to the panel as evidence. The second thing, as I understand it, due to inflation and the much lower wage rises, during the last decade, the workers' real wages have actually gone down very considerably. The prices have gone up much more than the wage increase. Is that correct? And therefore, even going up to 93 would simply be trying to catch up. I guess the last thing I wanted to ask is, do you have any comments on the draft trade union law and the apparent attempt to move even further towards temporary employment, casualization, or FDCs? Would you like to comment on that? Because I think that's
an important issue that's been raised by by others, and certainly is under consideration by the government. So if we're going to make useful recommendations as a result of this tribunal, we need to have some guidance from people like yourself who are literally at the factory floor.
You shared some events, and we believe that that was recognized. However, it was strange that for the union, having listened to you, well, it is just like, when one gets sick, he can go for treatment, and there is no protection or no preventive measure. First of all, workers going into a factory, and you give advice to do this, for them to do this, to that. So have you union done this kind of activities? Well, I would like to respond to your questions, the jury. So number one, we will prepare more documents and submit them to our lawyer, so that they can pass them to the jury, in addition to the evidence we are presenting today. Number two, in terms of going on strikes and demanding wage increase, what we have done so far, it's still difficult for us to ensure sustainability in terms of inflation. The economy is declining, and the prices of products are going up, and even the rent is also going up double. So this is not a burden that we have to address, but we have no ability to do something, to go on strike, to stop landlord from increasing the rent, so prices are already going up. So in terms of workers, we have had discussion with GMAC, representing employers in Cambodia, and I informed them that workers, if you don't give us this living wage of $93 at this time, you need to force the workers out. The workers are going to leave their work themselves. So at that time, the crisis will happen with this manufacturing sector. So at that time, when unemployment is high, so it is a problem for the international community too. That why should they come to invest in Cambodia when there are no workers working? So it's not an issue of employers terminating workers, but the workers are going to leave their work themselves. But I informed them also that at this stage, when we are demanding a wage increase, and employers does not agree, so a problem still happened in the government sector. So we are now taking steps to press government and GMAC, and also representatives of some factories to increase wages. But unfortunately, the prices of goods are already going up, not in proportion with our wage increase. So this is a problem for our workers. With regard to the last question, that whether we union, have we prepared ourselves in advance or not? Actually, we as a union, for our members as well as all workers, other workers, for our members as well as non-members, for those who are not joining unions, so they are very afraid. And they don't even, don't want to stay near a union because they fear being terminated. So if they are terminated, what happened? What's going to happen with their livelihood? And they need to feed their families. They need to support their family members. They need to raise their children. So the employers, don't care about the suffering of workers. Number two, in terms of members of union, for members of union, we don't even have time, to explain to them about all these kind of things, because workers, they work at lunchtime, for 30 minutes in some factories, and some factories they can take a rest for lunch break for 1 hour or so. So it's difficult to explain to them, to work with them. But even if they understand, when they meet with an employer, as our previous witnesses has mentioned, when healthcare is available, but the doctor, the doctor in the factory, does not judge from his professional point of view, but just work on the order of the employer. For example, just to give a few tablets of medicine, to workers, and then so they are not fulfilling their duty as a doctor to provide healthcare services for our workers according to their profession. Yeah, thank you.
សូមអរគុណក្រុមប្រឹក្សាចក្រមខ្ញុំមានសំណួរមួយដើម្បីបញ្ជាក់ទៅលោក
Respected jury, I've got a question from Mr. Sopheakdey to clarify. You said employees took part in strikes to demand for living wage. So my question is, with these more than 100 workers who were terminated and have not yet been reinstated, so were they terminated based on what ground by the employers? Because when they took part in the strike, they had to return to work, and employers were banned from terminating workers. So on what ground did the employer use to terminate these workers? Well, let me respond to this question again for Ms. Lawyer and the hearing. So number one, they base the action on short-term contract. 80% of these people use their short-term contract, and so they terminated on the ground that their contract expired. And number two, they accused them of inciting other workers to take part in illegal strikes. Yeah. So based on these two reasons, factories or management terminated the contract of our workers. Thank you.
Okay. I think that we could have other questions, but I think we are very late now. We have to keep something also for the organization. I thank very, very much the witnesses for their presence here, the witnesses and the answer they gave. I'm sure that some of the points will be integrated by the report of the experts on which we shall base also other questions. I think that, I don't know for the organizer whether we are able to start again at 2:30 as expected, or if we have to give 15 minutes more, 2:45 to be back here in order not to be too late in the afternoon. So 2:45 is fine? Okay, thanks.